If I only had one chance to share with you a message or make an impact, what would I want to share? I would like you to know that there's an easy, no fail way to feel whole and happy. Becoming conscious of what makes you tick and what makes you sick can be a simple process. There is a way to discover the root causes to your health challenges, your relationship challenges, and your financial challenges. And not only discover, but you can pull those roots out for good and imprint your mind and body for healing your health issues, your relationship issues, and your financial issues. We have the frequencies to eliminate root causes so that you can heal your life and facilitate those you serve on every level. Welcome to this free mini training. This training is just a sample of my 12-week Divine Soul training. If you do transformational healing work, or you're a results-driven coach, or you are simply wanting to transform and heal your personal life, you are in the right place. In the many years I have facilitated others to heal, I have learned that to really look at the divine truth that exists within us and the blocks that keep us from being in alignment with our highest soul experience and integrate our guidance is key to manifesting every good thing in life. Our way of being and true connection is truly the secret of our success. But before we get into all of this, let me introduce myself. Hello, I'm Julia Johnson, founder and creator of the NoviChi Miracle Mindset System. I started my awakening in 1984, nearly 40 years ago. I've watched many mind modalities be birthed into the world: EMDR, TFT, NLP, hypnotherapy, and while they're all good, and I've been trained and I've used them all, they were still somewhat surface and had to be repeated many times in order to hold. Then in 2004, through much study, pondering, and divine guidance, I was led to try certain patterns of light and sound frequencies that, when projected into certain acupuncture points, visual, auditory, and even kinesthetic memories were interrupted and diffused. Well, let me tell you the short version of how this happened. I'd been studying the effects of light and color for years and had been engaged in testing and trying different color sequences and effects on the body. One day, my good friend Sonia called and asked me if I could help Drew, who had served in Afghanistan with special forces. He'd been home for 8 months struggling with PTSD. I did my normal asking my guidance if I could help Drew with PTSD with some of the light experimenting I had been engaged in. I got a solid yes in my knowing, and so I asked which light pattern and where to place the light tool. I was truly led that day, and within 45 minutes, Drew's PTSD was gone. He was fully back, clear headed, and fully ready to engage in his life. You can imagine my joy and excitement as I realized that something had just occurred. A new way of processing transformation had just been born, and I was humbled and elated, and I knew something absolutely amazing had just been coming into the world to revolutionize the world of healing the mind, and I was so excited to be a part of it. I began using the same light patterns to heal not only PTSD, but emotional dysfunction, negative core beliefs, resistance, compulsions, and addictions. I knew that this light had the answers for so many of the world's problems, and it could be facilitated through this pulsating light patterns. I felt so grateful. As I worked with many, I watched the newly developed light pattern diffuse a trauma and heal it once and for all. This began the whole mind process of creating transformation. My mind was open to the development of light and sound processes not only for PTSD, but for the abolishment of negative beliefs, emotional dysfunction, resistance, and addiction. A whole new way of healing the mind and creating a miracle mindset was developed, tested, and perfected into what we have today. Today, I want to acknowledge your pain. You didn't click on this ad because your life has been total, joyful, and blissful. You didn't become a healer or a coach because your life has been easy. You stepped into transformational healing because you have suffered and overcome some of your own challenges. You have sought enlightenment and you feel you have an understanding, a message, and a divine calling to help others. I'm here to encourage you in that decision. The world needs more of us who are willing to go into the emotional trenches and help others heal. But this kind of service often creates exhaustion and burnout, inconsistent revenue, and unpredictable results. I'm here to introduce you to a surefire way to do it so that it's non invasive, simple, and so thorough that you can count on lasting transformational change with every session, with no burnout, with consistent revenue and predictable results. Every hard event in our life has affected us. Some events have poked a little ding, some have created a bigger dent, but some have felt like it blew a gaping hole in our whole being, and bits and pieces of us have been scattered all over. Trauma does that. If you're ready to learn about the healing system that will help you and your clients release the trauma from your short term memory where it's always in your face, process its effects, and put it in your long term memory where you can move past it, keep watching. I want to introduce you to our healing system called NoviChi. NoviChi uses specific pulsating light patterns that go deep into the visual, auditory, and kinesthetic energy centers and diffuses and releases the adrenaline trauma stress response from the visual cortex, the auditory, and body cellular memory so that you cannot relive the trauma in the same pattern that you have experienced it over and over. Let me explain a little bit more about what makes NoviChi different. Well, trauma is like looking through this clear plate. It's in your face. It blocks you from seeing clearly. You cannot see accurately because it distorts your view. You have to see around it, and it's always there, no matter how hard you try to avoid it. Trauma actually, this process actually places the trauma in your long term memory and releases it out of the places in your body where you have stored it. NoviChi allows you to move forward in your life. You don't forget the traumatic event, but the memory doesn't put you in fight or flight any longer. The mind heals, the body heals, and it releases the blocks that keep you cycling into the extreme fear of repeating the trauma in the future. Another thing that occurs with trauma is that embedded in our trauma stories are subconscious beliefs that completely run our life's experiences. We only see through the beliefs. That's the only view we have. Everything that happens to us is perceived through these belief systems. And because they are held in our subconscious mind, we are unconscious of them. Whatever the impact of the trauma, a ding, a dent, or a gaping hole, beliefs happen through our perception of the events. Let me show you how it works. The next segment, I'll explain the mind model. The face is representative of the conscious mind. Typically, in an unaware state, we are only 12% conscious. We have no idea how to create our life. We are victims of life like a tumbleweed blowing in a windstorm. Behind the conscious mind, existing in the subconscious mind, are our emotions. These squiggly lines that look kind of like hair are indicative of our emotions. Our emotions rule over our thinking mind most generally. Our emotions are generally always running because of triggers regarding our locked up trauma or core beliefs. Behind our emotions, embedded deep in our subconscious, dwell our core beliefs. These boxes are symbolic of our subconscious beliefs that run our life. So, this is how it works. Information, such as a compliment or criticism from others, comes into our mind. If it matches the core beliefs, your mind picks it up as evidence that the belief is true. In this model, it's indicated by the ticker marks. The more ticker marks, the more evidence you have that the belief is true. You can imagine how many ticker marks we have as we age. The more ticker marks, the more embedded and ingrained the beliefs are in your reality. When the information is evaluated and it doesn't match the core belief, it's rejected. The compliment may feel good for a little while, but in the night during REM sleep, your mind will sort it out, and the next morning, you will be back living from your negative subconscious belief reality. Until we awaken and discover our beliefs and process them, we are stuck in the same old patterns of dysfunction and emotional distress. Most of our beliefs are formulated when we are little. NoviChi takes you through discovery of the sabotaging belief systems, then quickly and thoroughly through the pulsating light elimination process that diffuses all the evidence or ticker marks and leaves you in a place of neutrality. Finally, integration of your divine truth through quantum inner child processing and combined light reprograms your reality. When your little inner child is healed, your glorious divine soul can come forward in fullness and glory. What makes NoviChi mind and body processing different from any other modalities? Well, NoviChi projects pure hue pulsating colors created in specific patterns into distinct acupuncture points that travel deep into your neurology. The light eliminates trauma and negative beliefs and clears the body's energetic channels completely. It processes many aspects of your traumatic experiences and negative beliefs rapidly and completely in a few sessions rather than having to take months or years to process. The light is diffused, not laser, so it is harmless to the acupuncture points and surrounding tissues. It is projected in such a way that the body's intelligence receives it readily. NoviChi sound frequencies are converted into perfect sine wave hertz frequencies. A sine wave is the same kind of wave your body emits naturally. So the sine wave, when projected into the tissues of the body, is like tuning a piano to perfect pitch and resonance. It is the delivery system of the sine wave versus the radio or the digital or the 5G that makes NoviChi so effective in healing both the body and the mind. This technology is state of the art and was developed by my husband, Kevin, and I. Trauma and belief work are the basis of the NoviChi Soul Divine Soul training. And here's why. When we release the trauma and the negative beliefs about ourselves and life and each other and all the things, it opens us to a different view of ourselves and each other. It opens our minds to love. It opens our minds to self-acceptance and changes our lives. We no longer live in self-hatred or shame. We no longer have a need to be angry all the time. We no longer have the need to live in constant anxiety and fear. Guilt and shame are eliminated. We can see the effects of trauma and beliefs in others, and we can understand the whys and open the possibility of forgiveness of self and others. We can shift our reality to a more beautiful state. To acknowledge that we have a divine soul, that we have a recognition of who we are spiritually, and that we can return to that divine love in a holy instant is the experience of this training. To come from the divine is much easier when it's real because we've processed the emotions, trauma, and beliefs that kept us experience the same old, same old. Our authentic self is love. To live in a more loving way, in alignment with our divine soul, is authenticity. It's truly what is real. This is the highest vibration recalibration. How would you like to integrate this version of yourself while still on Earth? Also, as a bonus, we have a resistance protocol that puts you in divine alignment with whatever you want to manifest or create. These frequencies in this resistance protocol and the point placements flush out any and all resistance and put you into single divine alignment. No more wishy-washy double bind. Say yes to yourself if you are ready to create miracles all the time as you and your clients shift into conscious creativity and the life of your dreams in a fraction of the time because you have no resistance. Unlock your limitations and be willing to receive beyond what you thought you had to settle for. Healing is a life practice, and with the tools and training I offer, your consciousness expands exponentially. As we process events and beliefs and bring life and love energy into your daily experiences, NoviChi is truly a system that will bring healing for life. Your clients will also return to you for their entire life experience because your expertise and NoviChi tools will bring the consistency to assist their continued healing when their blocks arise. You will have as big a clientele as you want because your energy will be attractive and authentic, and your work will be so effective, and everyone will want to come back and tell others about you. When your grandkids ask for a session, you know you're good. So here's a glance at what the online NoviChi Academy website looks like. Divine Soul is designed for the serious, devoted healer or coach who's looking for proven results and has a desire for deep transformation. Also included in this particular uh, Divine Soul system are some body recalibration protocols, the nervous system support, the brain focus support for that trauma brain, and the stress relief and sleep. These protocols assist the body to catch up with the mind healing so that the body calibrates and doesn't sabotage the mind healing. So here we are. Click on the link and book a call. Speaktojulia.com and let's see if we're a good fit for each other. Meet Laura Danes. She says, I have had great value in having the NoviChi system and learning from the Divine Soul training. Most of us have experienced some kind of trauma in our lives, but not many of us know how to free ourselves or our loved ones from it. Julia taught us step by step how to proceed with our healing. Divine Soul taught us clear and informative steps to move toward emotional and physical health with NoviChi. Meet Aubrey McKenzie, a NoviChi practitioner. She was in extreme exhaustion and experienced flight or fight continuously. We did NoviChi trauma protocol, followed by some NoviChi core belief work. She has more energy and is relaxed and happier than she has ever been. Meet Holly McLaughlin. When I met Holly, she was frazzled and just getting through a divorce. She bought a NoviChi system, and now she's on her feet, taking clients and making a huge difference. And then there's June Klein. June has been a stage speech facilitator for many, many years. She has coached people with their TED Talks. She has been on the National Speakers Association and been all over the country speaking. But she had this experience and then became stage fright after one failed performance that kept her paralyzed with fear for over a year. One trauma release and a belief protocol and a resistance protocol, and she's back on stage rocking it and making money and coaching others to do the same. Meet Debbie Hardison. Constant grief for 25 years since the violent death of her daughter. She was able to be at peace and start to truly live again. So this is me. Click on the link and book a call and let's chat. We actually do in-house financing, so don't let the money be an issue. We can make it work. Meet Cat Diner. Julia, I'm forever grateful for giving me the opportunity to participate in the divine soul. It's been like waking up from a bad dream and coming into the realization that I have the power, knowledge, and tools to change my life forever. Meet Linda Hahn. She was in physical pain because of emotional trauma and core beliefs. Today, she's enjoying a life of physical health and emotional strength. Click on the link and book a call. Let's check this out. Let's see if we're a good fit for each other. And just like Christine McGree, after years of holding a grudge from the experience of being betrayed by a family member, swallowing down the emotions and drowning herself in sugary foods, she was able to release her trauma and beliefs and come fully into her power as a healer. In order to be an effective healer, you must be aware of your own healing. Self-care and self-healing are key with Divine Soul Training. If you are ready to embrace your divine soul and be a masterful healer, please join me. Speaktojulia.com, click on the link and book a call with me. I look forward to speaking with you.